Summary: Allah's Messenger allowed the companions to eat from an onager they had killed, even though they were in a state of ihram. This hadith is about the Prophet Muhammad, teaching us to be generous and kind to others, especially those on our right side. Sahih al-Bukhari 2570. Narrated Abdullah bin Abu Qatada al-Aslami, that his father said, "One day I was sitting with some of the Prophet's companions on the way to Mecca. Allah's Messenger was ahead of us. All of my companions were in the state of ihram while I was a non-muhrim. They saw an onager while I was busy repairing my shoes, so they did not tell me about it, but they wished I had seen it. By chance I looked up and saw it. So, I turned to the horse, saddled it and rode on it, forgetting to take the spear and the whip. I asked them if they could hand over to me the whip and the spear, but they said, 'No, by Allah, we shall not help you in that in any way.' I became angry and got down from the horse, picked up both the things and rode the horse again. I attacked the onager and slaughtered it, and brought it, after it had been dead. They took it, cooked some of it, and started eating it, but they doubted whether it was allowed for them to eat it or not, as they were in the state of ihram. So, we proceeded and I hid with me one of its forelegs. When we met Allah's Messenger and asked him about the case, he asked, 'Do you have a portion of it with you?' I replied in the affirmative and gave him that fleshy foreleg which he ate completely while he was in the state of ihram." Sahih al-Bukhari 2571. Narrated Anas, "Once Allah's Messenger visited us in this house of ours and asked for something to drink. We milked one of our sheep and mixed it with water from this well of ours and gave it to him. Abu Bakr was sitting on his left side and Umar in front of him and a Bedouin on his right side. When Allah's Messenger finished, Umar said to Allah's Messenger, 'Here is Abu Bakr.' But Allah's Messenger gave the remaining milk to the Bedouin and said twice, 'The person's on the right side. So, start from the right side.' Anas added, 'It is a sunnah, the Prophet's traditions,' and repeated it thrice." Explanations. The first hadith is about the Prophet Muhammad's companions who were on their way to Mecca and saw an onager. They wished that their companion, Abdullah bin Abu Qatada al-Aslami, was with them so he could see it too. By chance, he looked up and saw it. He saddled the horse and rode it but forgot to take his spear and whip with him. His companions refused to help him get them back, so he got down from the horse, picked up both items himself and attacked the onager before slaughtering it. They then cooked some of its meat but were unsure if they could eat it as they were in a state of ihram, a period of abstinence where certain activities are forbidden, such as eating certain foods or engaging in sexual activity. When they met Prophet Muhammad later on, he asked if any part of the animal was still with them, which Abdullah replied yes to before giving him one of its forelegs, which Prophet Muhammad ate while still in a state of ihram, thus allowing his companions to do so too despite being in this period of abstinence. This hadith teaches us that we should always seek permission from Allah before doing something, even if we think we know what is right or wrong, because only He knows best what is permissible for us at any given time or situation. The second hadith, narrated by Anas ibn Malik, tells us of a time when the Prophet Muhammad visited his house and asked for something to drink. They milked one of their sheep and mixed it with water from their well, then gave it to him. Abu Bakr was sitting on his left side, Umar in front of him, and a Bedouin on his right side. When the Prophet finished drinking, Umar suggested that he give the remaining milk to Abu Bakr, but instead he gave it to the Bedouin, saying twice, "The person's on the right side. So start from the right side." Anas added that this is a sunnah or tradition of Prophet Muhammad. This hadith teaches us many values such as generosity, kindness towards others regardless of their social status or background, being mindful of those around us who may not have as much as we do. It also shows us how important it is for Muslims to follow in the footsteps of our beloved Prophet by following his traditions or sunnah. We should strive every day to be generous with what we have been blessed with so that we can help those who are less fortunate than ourselves.